Ever feel like the door to owning your own home in South Africa is just locked and you can't seem to find the key? Well, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to crack the code on a totally different way to get onto that property ladder. So let's get right into it. All right, let's kick things off with a number that's, well, it's a bit of a gut punch. 65%. Think about that. That's nearly 2 out of every 3 home loan applications rejected, just turned down by the banks. It's a huge, huge figure, and it shows you the massive walls so many people hit year after year when they try to buy a home. So what's going on here? What's behind this massive home loan hurdle? I mean, why is it so incredibly difficult to get that yes from the bank? It really feels like an uphill battle, doesn't it? Especially if you're trying to buy your very first place. Well, it's kind of like a perfect storm of things all happening at once. For starters, lenders are just way more cautious these days. And then you've got rising interest rates, which basically shrink your buying power. The same salary just doesn't get you the same loan it did a while back. On top of all that, you have the personal stuff, right? Like maybe not having a big enough deposit saved up, or having just one little blemish on your credit record. Or maybe it's just hard to prove you can afford it. It's tough out there for sure. And hey, if you want to see just how much those interest rates matter, just look at the raw numbers. It's actually wild. Let's say you're earning 15,000 Rand a month. A few years ago, when interest rates were around 7%, you could qualify for a loan of over 580,000 Rand. Pretty good. But today, with rates hovering around 10.5%, that exact same salary only gets you a loan for about 450,000 Rand. That is a massive, massive drop in what you can actually afford to buy.
Okay, so with all that working against you, what happens when that rejection letter actually lands in your inbox? Is that it? Is it game over for the dream of owning a home? Well, maybe not.
And this is where things get really interesting, because there is a different path. Let me introduce you to something called Rent2buy. Think of it as the ultimate plan B for aspiring homeowners. It's a clever system designed to help you get that foot on the property ladder, even when the main road seems totally blocked off. So, what exactly is it? How does it work? It's actually pretty simple. With Rent2buy, you rent the home you eventually want to buy, but you do it for a fixed amount of time, say 6 months, maybe up to 2 years. And it's all locked in with a formal agreement that gives you the option to buy it at the end. And that right there is the magic ingredient. It gives you breathing space, time to get all your financial ducks in a row. Okay, so let's walk through the journey. It really boils down to 4 simple steps. Step 1, you find your dream home. Step 2, you sign an agreement to rent that home, but with that all-important option to buy it later. Step 3, and this is the game changer, you use that rental time to actively build up your deposit and polish your credit score. And then Step 4, when the time is right, you pull the trigger, exercise your option, and you buy your home.
But wait a second. I can hear you thinking, how on earth does renting help me save for a deposit? Rent is just money gone, right? It sounds a little backward, I know, but the genius here is all in how the money is structured.
Here's the secret sauce. You basically agree to pay a bit more in rent each month, something that's actually closer to what a bond repayment would look like anyway. But, and here's the cool part, that extra bit you're paying isn't just vanishing into thin air. Nope. It's being set aside almost like a piggy bank and credited directly towards your deposit for that exact house. Let's make this real with an example. Imagine a property worth 1 million Rand. The standard rent might be, say, 7,000 Rand a month. But on a rent-to-buy plan, you might agree to pay 10,000 Rand. So that extra 3,000 Rand every single month, that's your forced savings plan. That's your deposit saver. Do that for just 1 year, and boom, you've automatically got 36,000 Rand sitting there ready for your deposit without even thinking about it. And you know what? This whole thing is so much more than just a clever financial trick. It's actually a complete support system. It's designed from the ground up to get you financially fit for the long run. So, when you get into a program like this, you get a whole toolkit to help you out. We're talking enrollment in a My Budget fitness program. You get your own personal mentor who actually calls you every month to see how you're doing. You get tools to fix up your credit score. There's even a mobile app to track your budget. It's the whole shebang, an A to Z guide to homeownership. It's really all about giving you the skills you need, not just to buy the house, but to thrive as a homeowner. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but does it actually work in the real world? Well, the answer is a big, fat yes. And we've got the proof. Let's take a look at a pilot project that happened in Bredasdorp in a development called Mill Park. Check this out. The results from this project are, well, they speak for themselves. In this one development, only 9 buyers, just 9, were able to get a traditional loan from the bank. But with the Rent2buy program, an incredible 29 buyers became homeowners. That is more than 3 times the number of families that were able to finally get the keys to their own place. Wow.
So you're probably wondering, how is that even possible? Well, let's break down the money side of it. To buy one of these homes the old-fashioned way, you'd need a loan for the full price, about 499,000 Rand. And for that, you'd need to be earning around 18,000 a month. Okay, now look at a Rent2buy buyer. Over the rental period, they saved up a 90,000 Rand deposit, and they qualified for a government subsidy of over 100,000 Rand. So the final loan they actually needed from the bank was way smaller, just over 300,000. And the income they needed to qualify? It dropped all the way down to about 9,200 a month. I mean, that's not just a little help. That completely changes the game. And you know, behind every single one of these numbers is a real person, a real family. This quote from Themba, who became a homeowner at 57 years old, it just says everything, doesn't it? It was the first Xmas that I spent in my own home. At the end of the day, it's not just about the money. It's about making a lifelong dream finally come true, no matter how old you are. So as we wrap this up, it really leaves you with something to think about, right? The traditional path to owning a home is definitely getting steeper and harder to climb. But innovative ideas like Rent2buy are literally creating new doors where there used to be walls. And so the big question for you is, could this be your pathway to finally holding the keys to your very own home?